Hey everybody, hey! So what I need you to do, I need you to go like, share, comment, post, tag on Minnie, a Mary, Junebug, Wooka, Wika, Nana, and everybody. Hold on, I am echoing, but that's okay. Boom, there we go. So I need you all to text and say hi, say what's up. Woo, it's been a while. Sorry I haven't been regular, but I'm back. I'm back and I am ready to attack. Okay. So, what I need you to do to put this in the comment section, tell your auntie that we're on here, Miss Mary, because she wants to know. All right. And so I am so grateful. For those that don't know, I am Byron Harvey. Last time I checked, I am the founder of, well, I ain't even gonna say that. I am the front man for Byron Harvey and team, and we do our weekly conversations, and we're excited. We're back for another week. Last month we talked about relationships. Thank you, Sam Fitton. Thank you, the Halford family. Thank you, Bishop Jones. It was so great to have them and hear young relationships, new relationships, soon to be relationships. All right. So we are really grateful just to have everybody here today. One of my lights went out. That's fine. So I have a very special guest because this month we are talking about the women. And last time I checked, I'm not one. So I am so grateful to have someone I personally call my SHEro. She's my SHEro because she's taught me. Hold on, my camera's acting up. She's taught me a lot about how to treat women, whether she realizes it or not, and also taught me how to be a man from another woman's perspective. All right, and it's a blessing to have her. So I want y'all to give a good God bless you. Thank you, YouTube. I see you guys. Thank you for watching. And I want y'all to give a what's up? Hey everybody. Welcome to Cristina Ray. I had to make sure I didn't say her real name. Woo! There's nobody in here but me, but woo! Thank you, Corona. Huh? All right. So how you doing, sister?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So for those of you all that don't know, last evening there was a program on the clubhouse. Whew.
Oh, boy.
And they did that Dream Girls program. And I tell you, she sang. Ooh. And if y'all don't know, she's probably the best Effie White I know. Okay. So y'all book her for again, cause I
Yes, book me on Bravo.
everybody was good. Everybody was great. But I'm telling you, I had another fit again. Like I hadn't seen you sing this song a billion times. I did threw stuff around the house. Ooh, my kitchen looks a mess. I will show everybody a picture, but it's
Oh,
terrible.
don't do that. Don't do that.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired being a mommy. Uh I'm just I feel great today. How are you?
Listen, I'm good. I didn't finally got off work. I almost said something terrible. All right. Well, it is so good. No, it's good to see you. Those that don't know, Christina was on America's Got Talent. She's been on Clubhouse. She's been on Apollo. I'm often amazed. Oh, I didn't even check the comments. Oops. Uh, hey, hey, woo, hey, everybody. Um, I, yeah, I'm often shocked that I know her.
Oh, geez.
Listen, I'm proud. Like, first of all, I'm trying not to make it too personal, but like, this is the first one I don't really have to have a script for. I am so proud of you because, for those that don't know, Christina is a mom. She's a sister. She's been raising me for years. Y'all listen. When I knew she was gonna be a mom, I literally was like, "Oh, you got this. You've been raising me for years." Because shout out, everybody know I'll be off. But yes, I mean, you have been a mom. You were able to do it in a pandemic while being on a TV show, and
Mhm.
left the TV show, did another big major event, and then wait a minute, you did two of major events, but it's okay. And working in New York. Now, you name another lady that can do that. This is why we celebrate Women's History Month. But yes, so what I wanted to just first ask, I already asked how you were doing, but tell us about the Dreamgirls experience. How was that?
It was a very uh extreme experience because it's a different thing when you are not able to interact with someone doing a show like this, a musical, and so you're having to use energy which would be easier if the person was right next to you, but you're having to use the energy between you and Zoom or just you and the voice itself. It was hard at times because some people don't have internet connection with the storms going on. Some people's connections have gone out. Lights are out because of the storms, and so uh we were we met some challenges, and it only was a six no, I think it was an 8 week process or a 6 week process. Every Saturday and Sunday where we were in rehearsals, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours. But it was worth it, and I have met some amazing people, some of which who have already been on Broadway, others who have been on like The Four, The Voice, and other different shows, which was an amazing experience. And it was even uh, great to have met the directors and the writers of the actual script, because the Dreamgirls that we did was, of course, Dreamgirls, but it had original pieces in it as well. So it was just an amazing experience. I'm happy that I made some history when it comes to Clubhouse and Dreamgirls being as big as it was on Clubhouse.
When I looked on there, when I first, it hadn't even started yet. It was like 30 minutes prior, and it was
Mm-hmm.
already 2,000 something people
Mm-hmm.
waiting. I'm like, I hope this don't fall. I said, I hope this don't malfunction. I hope this don't malfunction. I said, we about to break Clubhouse.
Yeah, it maxed out at like 4,013, and that was like every show that people could get in, they got in and they stayed there, and they actually enjoyed it, and it was really an honor, and it was really great to see that you can hold people's attention that long just through audio. And I also think that because it is only audio, it allowed people to still be able to do other things while they're listening to a whole production of Dreamgirls. So it was exciting. It was exciting. I can't lie about that.
And I think one of the coolest parts about it, I remember studying about in school about radio theater,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like the return of like literal radio theater. Like I was
Yeah.
like, and it's kind of like old ideas reinvent themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the coolest parts is kind of even seeing like how your story matches some of,
Effie's.
and like I mean when you got to the I am changing, I was like, I'm gonna go walk out.
Not in rehearsals. It took me at least 4 rehearsals to finally be able to sing. And I'm telling you, without breaking down. Unfortunately, I broke down yesterday, but I think it was just the connection with Effie this time, because I've been Effie like 4 or 5 other times, but I wasn't Effie as a mom in real life. And
Wow.
so being a mom now and being an adult now, doing Effie White, it just hit a whole lot harder. And I really did feel the change, and I am changing. And yeah, it was just a different experience doing Dreamgirls this time.
Wow. I want to even add I the maturity from, so those that don't know, Christina has been Effie White since we
A
was like
lot.
kids. Like so
I was 14 at TSU in Fisk.
like I remember so watching that Chris to that, I was like, well, listening at this time. But watching the transition, it was like, man, like I could not believe. I was like, the way she understands the role now, like
Mhm.
compared. to like just what the way you would have understood it years ago. Uh,
Yes.
I man, but we won't even go into that story. 'Cause we don't. But like, so even in that, transitioning from AGT to that, how was that experience?
Um, if I didn't even think about that, but it really felt darn near the same because we didn't have a live audience there either. All we had was the judges in front of us, and of course the stage hands who would cheer you on once the filming stopped. But we had like a entire screen of people on AGT, and it felt a lot, and I keep saying this, it felt a lot like Hunger Games, like when they're in the little area having to show their talent to be
Right.
chosen or whatever. That's how it felt. But it was just, it felt the same, but I didn't actually have to get all dressed up and do it over again because the lights were messed up on this corner, or do it again on this area. Like, it was just, okay, this is it. The moment is now, and go. And so it
Wow.
wasn't really hard to transition, but it I feel like every time I step foot on stage now, it is different because I've not been in front of people.
Mm.
So it's like small little like, ooh, COVID, stay over there. Ooh, okay. I've not been around people, so this is really uncomfortable right now. But I'm hoping that it'll soon open up, and that small inch of anxiety trying to creep in when I am in public goes away.
Oh my gosh. I did an event in Atlanta. Like I was just going as support. I wasn't even trying to sing. So I went down there and I got in the mic and this other singer got like this close to me. I was like,
Yeah. And I did that at a I forgot where I was, but I started getting real hot and like jittery. And I'm like, what is this? Is this a part of being 30? Like, what is this a part of 31, or is this just a part of this pandemic? Because I'm a people person, but since COVID is hit, I would rather like stay to myself in my little corner in my own little chair. And it just I'm like, okay, I love y'all. I really do love people, but right now you can't even trust people who you've known all the time, because they not gonna tell you that it's they have COVID if it's not hitting them the way that it's hit other people, which I
mm.
think is very inconsiderate, but it is what it is. So I just stay in my area with my babies and I chill.
So so getting to the baby. Um so one of the things that like was most amazing about me and Chris's journey, and this kind of goes into the real topic. We so me and Chris have been bro and sis ride or die since 2004. Sorry
Yeah.
for 2004. Okay. And the journey from both of us, those of you know that a little bit of both of our stories. Yeah, the journey from that to this has been like a huge journey. But as we're talking about the power of women, those that don't know, my mother and I had a very estranged relationship.
Mhm.
Um, so I did not have my stepmom is great, she's awesome. But one of the things, we had a very different relationship, and even trying to navigate those relationships, I did not keep many women friends because I was very weird. I was just like, I got hurt by my mom. I got hurt by this girl. I don't do that. No, no, no. So when Christina came in, she came in as this most demure, sweet little thing. I don't know what I was thinking about. Uh, and I actually remember we were out in front of old grader Grace.
Mhm.
We were singing. We had to sing somewhere, and you were like, I can't sing this song. And I was like, you can do it. And we were doing a duet, y'all. My stupid self encouraged her. Oh, you can do it. I'm thinking like, yeah, this girl, she's scared. And I got up, and this girl blew me completely out the water. And I'm standing there like,
Was that in the King Shall Reign?
Yes.
Oh,
I was like, who is this little girl? What? And but ever since then, I've just loved the stew out of this girl. My family loves the stew out of this girl. I mean, and I would do almost literally anything. Now, this is one of them that I will okay. I ain't gonna say it on live. They're gonna
don't go
find
there now. Don't go
but
there.
but y'all know how it is. And the journey that she's went through from being homeless to being a mom to being the different things. We've both went through it in various capacities.
Mm-hmm.
And she said something to me about 3 years ago. She was like, everything that I think, I begin uh I hear you, Jonna. Everything that I think about, I'm bringing into reality.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I've changed my language. I'm speaking those things like as not as though they were. I'm changing my mentality. And because me personally, I am, I'm a Capricorn. Everything is facts, digits, and numbers. And for once, I started acting in faith. And pretty much everything that's happened changed. Or there's another quote from Christina. I asked God to take away what I didn't need, and He took away everything. That is the inspiration for the song Dying Man.
Aww.
People don't really realize it. I mean, honestly, I was like, I needed a song. I was like, let me think of something. And then I sat there, and I think you called, and then I remembered that quote that you had said a long time ago. And I was like, man, you lost everything. You just feel like you're dying.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
like that inspiration alone um made me think different, or even the way I watch her love people, even when we both we didn't even get it in return. And it changed my way of how I approach people, because I'm one of them. You done me wrong, I'm gonna try to forgive you 1 or 2 times.
But you may retaliate.
Yes, and in the nasty way. And truth on here. Y'all ain't gonna stop me from telling my truth. But but the change that it's forced me into over the years, or the times Christina's had to pull me off of people, or yep, I will tell it. She's kept me out of trouble, out of jail, um, out of being on a news headline. Um,
Yes.
yes, and that alone is why I call her my SHEro. Whenever I get in a mess and I'm about to screw it all up, in walks Chris. What are you doing? I'm like,
I wanted to do that. I wanted to be bad today.
listen, I was about to blow it all up. Or the times where you all wouldn't know, but like I would literally be ready to give up, and Chris would come in and say, she was like, Byron, we all need you to be saved. If you're not saved, this is about to all be bad. So we need you to come back down. And it's changed my life. So I would love for you just to chime in on that. Like I've always heard my perspective, but your perspective on just how you're just that woman, how you're the SHEro to so not just me, Xavier. If he got on here, he'd say the same thing, but he gonna fight me. Jermaine, all us, half of the men anyway.
I would say with being the woman that I am, it if I'm being honest, came from a lot of pain
Mhm.
and realizing what I didn't want, uh not giving people what I didn't want, because a lot of people operate out of pain and out of hurt, and you hear that cliche, hurt people. But there comes a time where eventually you hurting that person is going to keep bouncing back. It's just going to keep ricocheting like a bullet. And people are like, well, I don't understand why we just can't get along, or I don't understand why the situation isn't different. And it's because you are projecting what you really don't want. Like you're throwing it away, but you're throwing it at someone instead of throwing it completely in the trash, in the garbage. And that includes even your thoughts and your negative thoughts about yourself that you don't even pay attention to, but you don't realize your subconscious is stronger than this conscious that you think you have control over. And it is eating you up inside until you have the guts and the knowledge and the wisdom to be like, I'm my issue. I'm my issue. This is why my relationship here don't work. This is why the relationship here in this mirror doesn't work. And a lot of people don't take the time to really look in the mirror at that person. Like if you are not treating you right and if you are not loving on you the correct way, then it's darn near impossible for you to give away something you don't know anything about.
Woo.
So I know what makes me cry and I know what makes me happy. And it's a difference when I'm crying from sadness or I'm crying from anger and when I'm crying because I'm happy. Like the tears just feel a whole lot more refreshing than the ones of relief. And
Mm.
I realized that with healing, it's like it's really draining at times because you've been walking around with all this weight on you and now you're walking around free. And it's like, what do I do with all this energy now? And the
Mm.
whole lot of energy is like eventually gonna wear you out because it's like, let's go do this, let's go be great, let's go. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I have to, it's like you have to get energy for the energy of freedom. And so I'm just trying my best to my um operate in my highest
Yeah.
best instead of operating in the self of right now, because I do realize that they say the faith without works is dead, but I don't believe that the work is actually putting the right foot in front of the left foot and doing something. I think the work is a mind thing. As long as you continue to focus and work on what it is you really want, I think that is the work. And if you can stay focused at all, even though all the odds are against you, even though all these doors that you think you need, that you think are the actual one that's gonna set you free, um, is it's like it's really hard not to get distracted with distractions. But if you are
Woo.
focused enough and if you believe in you enough to be able to use what God gave you, life and death in the power of the tongue, so a man thinketh, so is he. If I think myself a millionaire today, then I'm just gonna keep thinking, oh, my check just ain't hit my bank account yet. But if I continue to just, oh, I'm still not a millionaire. I'm still not a millionaire, then that's what it's gonna be. And that's what I teach my baby, because being on AGT wasn't just a manifestation thing that I did myself. I think that was him too,
Yeah.
because he's always like, Mommy, I want to be on stage, especially now. Mommy,
Wow.
you have a show to do. You have a rehearsal. Is it my turn to be on stage? Mommy, I'm a superstar. And it's like I'm teaching him to affirm himself at 3 and well 1, 2, and 3. And now that he is 4, it's like, okay, well, it's time for you to get on your own stage and no well, actually all the shade.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Miss Sissy Houston, I was just like, I'm not gonna be mad at you if you get all these EGOT awards. I'm gonna be the one shouting, rooting. As a matter of fact, I probably wear flats just so I can jump up and down to support you and not bust my behind while doing it. But I'm like, I got you. You want me to be a background singer? You want me to be a background dancer? What you need, Jeremiah? And I just want to know that my legacy is not just material things, but my legacy is also a heart thing.
Wow.
And So that's my focus, especially now being a mom, and like being a mom and being in like an adult life now, living a life not just for myself but for my child, so that he never has to experience the things that did make me who I am. And I'm happy for the pain now, but when I was in those painful moments,
Man.
I wanted out. It was like, okay, if this is how much it costs, I don't want it. Like this costs too much. But that's how I've been able to like help you and Jermaine and all of that. Cause I'm like, a lot of times I realize that I fought harder for y'all than I fought for myself,
Yeah.
because it's easier to see into somebody's life, but it's hard being in that. It's really hard because you know everything about what's happening.
Hmm.
And when you're able to speak on someone else, you don't understand what their struggles are, because they're not going to come out and say everything, because that would be a whole list of things that are making you feel the way you do. But I just realized that I used to thrive off of making other people happy instead of making myself happy, and that's why I was not happy. And
I
so,
even have to interject in that because I think one of the most key things is the legacy we leave.
mhm,
There are many of us who come from legacies where, that was all people knew.
yeah,
And all they knew was to give this, and all they knew was to do this and do all they can, and they do this and they do this and they do this. And then the next thing you know, life has moved on, people have moved on, and there's nothing there left for you. But the
abs- yeah,
but greatest blessing is when you realize that you are the centerpiece in your own narrative. And all
yeah,
of these other things, relationships, people, things, they are byproducts. They're fruit of
mhm,
what you are.
mhm.
Like I
And
think, go ahead.
I can no, I apologize for cutting you off, but even in those moments, like me right now, and especially during this pandemic has made me feel like my dreams are even further away. And I know that I was just on America's Got Talent and it was an amazing experience, but it's so many limits on what we can do, where we can go right now. It really makes me feel normal, because people are like, "Oh, you don't you feel famous?" And I'm like, "No." Like I don't think, even if my bank account did like today look like my multi-millionaire bank account is going to look in a few days, like I still think I would still just be Christina Ray. Like, do you feel famous? No, because I'm still going to shop at Walmart. I'm still going to shop at the dollar store. I'm still going to shop at Target. Like, I'm still going to shop on my clearance racks. Okay. But I just know that it, even though it's not happening right now, I am still worthy and I'm still deserving of it still to happen. And
Mm,
so I just had to keep continuously telling myself, you're still worthy and you're great, which is why yesterday um on my Dream Girls, um when I sang, and I'm telling you, normally I've used other people who I really longed for them to love me the way that I love them. And yesterday I had to talk to myself, which is why I broke down, because we don't always give ourselves the best. And
mm,
we are quick to affirm other people and cheer other people on, and we're dead vessels, not even cheering ourselves on. And so yesterday when I was singing to myself, it was like, Christina, I'm telling you, you are who you are, and you are great, and you're the best one I've ever had. Like, you are the best you've ever had. And so I started turning a lot of the songs, being older and more knowledgeable now, when it came to Dream Girls, I started turning them into me. Like, I'm my dream girl, I'll make me happy. Like, I just started turning them around, and you feel weird at first, but then you like, oh, I'm doing it. Like, and you start feeling happy because you're really affirming yourself through music. And so, yeah, like I just I try to be as happy as possible because I want to pass happy on. I don't want to pass tragic on. So
we don't have to be another tragedy.
we don't. And
And
you know our family generational curses are real, but those are the generational curse is a thing that's swept under the rug when it comes to black families. And I'm
okay,
like, I refuse. I refuse to have generational curses. I want to have generational blessings and generational inheritances. And
right.
I want all of that good stuff because we always hear about the bad, but we don't hear about the good. And that is why we continue to only have a lot of bad around us because that's what is amplified.
What and my question is, what blessings do, even when we identify the negatives, what generational blessings are a part of our lineages?
I would have to say, of course, our personalities, because I know that my parents, my mom especially, has like a really great personality. But I also know that with her pain that she's experienced, that it's taken a she had to be strong to make that personality pop out.
Right,
And she had to endure um being able to even smile, even though she really didn't have or may not have had a lot to smile about. And so I know that generational blessing. Even my voice, my dad sings, my mom can sing, my granny can sing, like, but they weren't really wanting to be in the forefront, of course. But um, I I think my heart, the kind of heart that I have, has always been my granddaddy Royce, because he just gave to you just because you asked for it.
right.
And I'm like, granddaddy, I can just can I have hot Cheetos? Can I have $20 for hot Cheetos? And he'd be like, go and get it. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, you just gave me $20 for some hot Cheetos. But I knew that I was gonna get hot Cheetos, and I also knew that when I got to school, I was gonna go to get all these school supplies because I used to have a fixation on school supplies. But but like it's just I have some blessings, but I do know that some of the curses have been louder at times, and I don't know if that's an intentional thing to build my character or to build my fight. But I do know that whomever I am and whoever people have um been introduced to when it comes to me is real. Like, I'm not going to put on this facade like, oh yeah, I am this and everything is great. If I'm not great, I'm not going to say I'm great. But I'm going to keep telling myself inward, but if you ask me, are you okay? Honestly, no, but it's all good. Like that's going to be my answer.
I love what I love about you is like the purity. And it's because like when people get up, like especially singers, we have this thing where we're like,
Mhm.
and I mean, you've been backstage boo-hooing. You know, 5 minutes ago you just got through arguing with somebody, like,
Yep. Yep.
and you don't take the negative energy from it. You take that energy and then you convert it into
Mhm.
a song. Like, I mean, I can remember so many times in our history, whether it was on stage, whether it was at the program, whether we was doing a set at the club, like you would take the negative energy and use it as a song.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that time you were singing tired, and like we all needed a nap. I mean, we was tired.
And we were tired today because everything was last minute. Everything we didn't know when we were going on, and that kind of things frustrates me, especially when we have the teachers whom we've had, Dr. Fields, my aunt Persephone, Uncle Krim. Like, you being late, you not knowing these things on the day of the show, you would have been fired. Like, that's my thought process. Oh,
You're
you
right,
deserve to be
friend.
fired, but let that spirit out and don't come back. Like, that's how I felt. But I realized it would not have made the show any better had the show I would have been here and fired the person who's in charge of the show. It wouldn't have made no sense. I would have wasted my time and everybody else's. But yeah, it is. I just, I don't know.
I love it.
I have to keep it.
And I'll share this as we the heaviest moments at being deep and being funny. But no, as you were one of the first ooh, yeah, I can do it. You were one of the first women to fight for me.
Aw.
And I'll never forget, we were in a situation, somebody was being real disrespectful. And I remember you being like, you got one more time. And I was like,
I believe that was a Salama moment.
yeah.
Um, and I just don't believe in people bullying other people, especially if you don't have yourself all the way together. It's too many people in if we're being honest, especially in the church, who believe that it's okay to call out other people's stuff. Like you are just perfect Patty over here, and you're the most broken person when you go home. But when you come out, you're all razzle dazzled, but you are razzle dazzled because you are covering up who you really are. And instead of you taking a moment to sit by yourself, you need to be around other people to fix yourself and take on other personalities so that you are whole again. But what you don't realize is you just keep adding mask to not just mask who you are to yourself, but putting on masks so that it's easier for other people to accept you. And they will never accept you because you're not you. And so I know, like with my, when it comes to people beating down people, whether you're in the congregation or whether you're a preacher, pastor, whatever. I will always stand up if you are wrong. And I've always been that kind of
I,
I
I
was a
know.
child like that, okay? I'm like, why are you asking me to do this? That's not right. You don't ask me why that's not right. And I'm like, well, why? You're still a person. You still make mistakes. So why can't I question you?
And
Like,
I appreciate that because we don't have people who, and even strong enough of individuals to get up and say, hey, I got a question about that. Does
mm-hmm,
that make sense?
mm-hmm.
I here with a friend of mine this morning, and he was like, well, what do you love about her the most? And I was like, she doesn't mind asking me the real question. I mean, like,
Well, I hear all that, but what's your real issue right now?
or even there was a time where I was a leader at a church. We were both there. I got up and I was doing some stuff that just didn't make any common sense. And then it led into a dispute. We were talking, and you were like, I don't need Reverend Byron right now. I
Mm-hmm,
need I need my brother. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Ask you some real questions. Da, 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 da. I was like, okay. Da, 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 and we just went back at it. And those moments are so important. And what it's training me to do as a man is to think about yourself and say, okay, these are what your sisters see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're gonna be somebody one day gonna be Mrs. This is what she gonna see. This is not your brothers don't see this. We
Mm-hmm.
see this. I can say something about, you know, women. Women have an eye that men will never have.
Ever.
Like they can they are trained in, you know, people want me to use a scripture reference, you know, but we ain't being deep today. The scripture says that a lady is the eyes of her house. She can see that thing before you come. You wondering why that woman looking at you crazy because she see you.
Mm-hmm.
She sees you miles away before you even walk through the door, and she already sees that this may be cantankerous for this family.
Yeah. And I know a lot of times, um, if I'm talking to you, I feel like a lot of times I just had to bring you deserved you at the times where you have given yourself to other people, and I feel like you give yourself or were giving yourself away like that or staying busy because you knew that if I sit by myself I may not be able to handle it. And I'm just like, but you deserve you. Like,
You,
you deserve you in your purest form. You deserve the effort that you put towards these churches at in that moment, especially in this position. You needed you. You did not need this church. You didn't need this pastor. You needed to sit down with Byron and realize that this ain't gonna work without you. And I just know that, especially you being a Capricorn, you're always gonna put work before you.
yep.
And that's why sometimes you're like, I went to sleep, sis, and I didn't even know what happened. Like, I don't know. I didn't realize I was that tired. And it's like, you knew, but you weren't listening. Like, you need to listen to what your heart is saying. Listen to what your body is saying when it is saying, this is hurting me, this is bothering me.
Right.
And those headaches that you used to get, those weren't just headaches because of you not eating, you not you stressed out. Those were headaches of your body saying, I'm tired, please take care of us, let
Please.
take care of us. And so I just I always want you to realize that you deserve what you give to other people, the good that you give to other people, because sometimes we think we only deserve the bad. We understand more of the bad when it happens to us than we do the good,
Yep.
because we're like, but I'm not deserving of it. And we think we're not deserving because of this little bad that we did. I don't believe that the punishment honestly is the hell, the hell that we talk about or that we learn about is what we put ourselves through when we do wrong, with the thought process when we keep thinking about it over and over. That's your hell right there.
We put our own self through our own condemnation.
Exactly.
I talked to a lady earlier today, and she's like, "Well, Elder, I just want you to know, I'm just trying to do such and such." I'm like, "You've already received the forgiveness, lady. It's
Yeah.
already been there. That was the whole point of that whole book thing, that big thick book. Yeah, I can save you years of reading. I'm telling you, that John part right there. You just go right there. You've already been forgiven. You're already loved. You're already.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes we as religious people, because sometimes I have to classify myself as one of them at times, and like
Mhm.
even though everybody know I can't stand them, um, but anyway, y'all just keep we working, um, but like I literally had to get to a point in my life where I had to realize, hey, you need to soften the way you approach you. And to be honest, no man could teach me that.
Yeah.
It took the women in my life, my SHEro, oh, she's over here, yeah, to like show me, like, hey, soften, like, hey, you can actually be affectionate. You actually have that ability. You actually have the ability to show people that you care, and
Yeah.
that is key. Even as we're celebrating our sisters this month, I'm bringing each week. I'm bringing some lady who is like poured into me in a way, and we're celebrating them all month long. And so, like, I'm like, that is the essence, the essence. Uh, but no, that's the core of arcs, and especially as we're going into a new dimension, a new decade, a new
Mhm.
realization, a new movement, where we're seeing the first female vice president.
Yep.
As we're seeing this, we need to know that it's okay to have the feminine and even have the masculine, and they don't dictate who is more powerful.
Yeah, and I think that's the division when it comes to, well, I don't know black, I mean, I don't know white men and white women's battles, but I know the black woman and the black man's battle is balance, because we think that if we're too masculine as a woman, then that's an issue, and if we're too feminine as a man, then that's an issue. But you need both to coexist to be balanced. And it's like, being affectionate is just being nice to yourself and it automatically is mirrored to other people. Being affectionate is, girl, you did that. Man, you look pretty darn good today. Like, that's affection. And we are not taught as a black culture to up ourselves, to we're taught to big ourselves to other people, but
Mhm.
not to ourselves. And I think that's the disconnect when it comes to black women and men, because we don't take the time to understand each other, just like some white people and other cultures do not take time to get to know us, the black culture. And so the division is not anything other than just understanding and communicating and just balance. And if you want balance, then you can be okay because you're a man that likes pink. It does not mean that you are
And
titled to anything. You
yeah,
just like pink.
and
Like,
I we create gender roles.
yes.
That is a man created thing. And
Yeah.
wants to argue it. I will go to back, and if you want to Bible thump, I can Bible thump all night, because you want a biblical woman. Them women was casting iron, moving cows, and every
Hmm.
damn thing else. And so,
Hmm.
listen, they will put some of these men today to shame.
Yeah.
They had children. They didn't have no morphine.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so you know the the idea of gender roles is Eurocentric, and not to go too heavy, but Eurocentricized and pushed down so that people can feel like somebody is higher than someone else. You're not. You know
Yeah,
the
even with you stating that, it brought back the new non-binary term that's going around. Now, I'm fine with people wanting to be who they want to be.
Be you.
Um be you, but when you make it an issue where like the them, they, and all of that, I'm like, this is just more division. This is not any, they don't have a them they jail. You still gonna go to woman jail, or you still gonna go to a man jail. Like, they don't have a them they cemetery. Like, they don't have these things. But these are other things to bring on division more than you realize it, because everybody is not going to take the time to get to read and understand what non-binary is. And so again, there's division in understanding. There's division because now you are them, they, and you don't even understand you right now. You just know that somebody said, "Oh, this is my new title because I have the right to be this title." And you also just have the right to be who you are, and you have the right just to be happy without a title at all.
I
But
never forget the time where I think I was in high school. I was still in high school,
mhm,
and someone tried to take an identity and basically press the identity on who I would be. Like, oh, you this and this way you don't know anything
ye-
about me. I am who I am. Let me be who I am. Well, no, no, no. Let me be.
yep,
And I even with our sisters, even with our emerging brothers and sisters in different struggles and different fights and different hues and different nationalities and even identities. Let them be.
it's none of your business.
Let the women be the women that they are. Let the man be who they are. And
Mhm.
even now we celebrate the woman. Like, I celebrate the Christina who put on her own belt, the motor belt.
My serpentine belt.
Oh,
I mean, but it had to be done, and it does not take anything away from the man that can do it as well. But it's like, well, if it don't have a serpentine belt on it, then it can't get to the man that can put the serpentine belt on. So if I put it on, at least it's on there until I get to him, and he can fix it the right that it's supposed to be fixed if that's needed. But as of right now, I'm stranded, and this got to work. So
or
I
the that says, Byron, I could have changed your starter for you. And I'm like,
I mean, I did. I told you I changed my thermostat when I was like 5 or 6 months pregnant with Jeremiah, and
Remember,
my car started, and I made it to the garage. It
and
was
that,
what it was.
but that's the beauty, and that is the beauty in who you are. You are you are you are delicate enough for the evening gown, and then we jeans and down at the park playing football. You
Yes.
can be whoever you want to be. And I celebrate you. And I got that tap on the shoulder. I'm already seeing the messages. All right. But I thank you, sis, for coming on. I know
Of
our viewers are grateful for you. And I am just so excited about what's next. I am excited about what's next. And I love my nephew. He still has
course.
$20 in my wallet that he
And
needs.
right now he is all about money. He's like, "Mommy, I need monies for Mr. Potato Head." And I'm like,
Yes.
"You call me for Mr. Potato Head? Yes, it's my birthday." I'm
That's
like,
right.
"No, it's not. It's not your birthday."
It
Yes.
because he has seen Uncle B, and it will be his birthday until he gets his $20. But and
Okay. Well, with his $20 that Uncle B is gonna get, if he can get his Mr. Potato Head.
listen, I get listen. That's my listen. Y'all don't understand. If there's one little person on the whole planet that I love the most, it's my nephew. And
Yeah, he asked more about him than about me.
that's all right. I love it, boy. There's something crazy. Y'all keep praying for but yes, thank you all. My regular, if you enjoyed this and you want to give a gift or sow a seed in
Yes.
Cristina, please,
Oh,
if you would like to sow a seed, put hashtag, wait a minute, before I get in trouble. I always getting in trouble for doing something crazy. Here we go. There it is. Where that? Yeah, yep. You can cash it by Harvey Team. Please put Christina, or else I think it's for me. Um, Venmo, Byron Harvey and Team. All right, y'all can do that. And then also, we got our shirts and sweatshirts, and make sure y'all know where to get them. And Christina has product coming out very soon,
I
so
really.
we'll let y'all know about it. All right, man.
All
Um,
right.
well, I love you, sissy,
I
and
love you.
please, please, if y'all have not got to go watch the Clubhouse, y'all know somebody YouTube that thing. Somebody did, and
I
they
hope
listen. And if you haven't, go check her out. She actually has product on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere. Follow her on social media if you don't already do it. She is greatness, and probably you already do because my timeline was filled with her. But that's okay. Thank you so much. I love you, and
I
thank
love
you
you too.
for tuning in.
Of
Woo.
course.